Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Caboose XBL bringing you another Batman v Superman video, and today we're going to be talking about a pressing issue amongst the community that has been brought up many times throughout the last couple weeks off of one tiny little quote. So let's just get right into it. Charles Roven, who is the producer for Batman v Superman, was given an interview a couple weeks back, and he was talking about Batman and who his character is in Batman v Superman. And he said one tiny little insignificant, completely irrelevant quote. And all he said was that in Batman v Superman, Batman is judge, jury, and executioner. A saying that most people have heard in the past. You know, people have heard someone be referenced as judge, jury, and executioner, you know? But the internet went on a frenzy and this rampage like, oh my god, Batman's a killer. He's just gonna murder people. He's just shooting people in the head left and right. He has a gun in that last trailer. It's totally not a gadget or anything, or that grenade launcher that we saw on display at New York Comic Con. So let's just take a step back and look at the facts here. Fact number one. In the Batman v Superman trailer, I believe in the Comic Con one and in the latest one, there is a shot of a thug who gets a brand on his chest. Obviously from Batman. So someone needs to sit down and explain to me that this quote-unquote murderer Batman would just decide, I'm going to leave this thug alive. I'm only going to brand him and send him to prison. Because why the hell not? You know, it's funny. You know? Okay, let's give you the benefit of the doubt there, all right? Let's just say maybe he had to flee from the cops. The cops were arriving. He had to get out of there. So all he could do was handcuff the dude and leave him to the police. Why, in that film that's coming out in August called Suicide Squad, is the supervillain known as the Joker, and the supervillain known as Killer Croc, and the supervillain known as Deadshot, and Harley Quinn, and El Diablo, and all these people, why are they still alive? These are hardened criminals, locked up in maximum security. The Joker of all people, the number one baddie, the dude that killed Robin. Why is he still alive if Batman's a killer, exactly? I really want to get that explained to me. So that is why the internet really needs to calm down sometimes. People take these quotes, these little quotes such as me going, yeah, Batman, he's kind of like judge, jury, and executioner in this film, and blowing it so completely out of proportion that it turns into this frenzy on the internet. Everyone needs to breathe. Do some research, look online, look at the facts, and breathe. It'll all come to you once you do so. That is my thing. But let's still say, for the benefit of the doubt, that Batman hasn't killed the Joker in Suicide Squad for whatever reason. Or hell, let's just say this. Suicide Squad is indeed a prequel to Batman v Superman. Suicide Squad's events happened before Batman v Superman, so who's to say that Batman doesn't kill the Joker or Killer Croc or any of these supervillains by the end of that film? Let's give you the benefit of the doubt there. We need to understand that these films are not created on the sole factor that they have to be based one-to-one off the characters from the comic books. Understand that. The making of a film doesn't rely on staying faithful to source material. It relies on making a good film. The first thing you do when you're creating a movie is you make sure you have the right set pieces. You got the good director. You got a good producer. You have a good script in line. All that stuff, all those pieces need to fall into place first and foremost. And then maybe you can sit back and go, are we being faithful to the source material? Do we need to? And then you go from there. These movies don't have to be solely based on the fact that it's this character in the comics. It has to be this character. He does this and he does that and he breathes this way and he has 4 fingers in that one comic. So in that one frame in the film, he has to have 4 fingers. Otherwise, we are not faithful to the comics and people will not go to see our movie. That doesn't matter, okay? Because if you look at Tony Stark in the Avengers, is he this crazy alcoholic going through depression? Absolutely not. The only time that they ever experimented or went through his whole alcoholic phase, we got this.
Goldstein, Yes, Mr. Stark. Give me a fat beat to beat my biceps.
But it doesn't really matter because he features some of the other character traits of that person from the comic books. So let's say Batman's a killer in Batman v Superman. Let's just say, even though I guarantee you he won't be, let's just say he is. If it serves the story right and it makes sense, then that's all you need to do. In Man of Steel, if you're asking me, and this is only my opinion, so, take it with what you want to. In Man of Steel, Superman had to kill Zod. Spoiler alert, I guess. This movie's been out for almost 3 years. What are you doing not seeing it yet? So, in Man of Steel, Superman had to kill Zod. It was almost a necessity. Zod said it himself, there's only one way it ends. Either you die or I do. And yeah, Superman could have flown up to space and taken Zod there rather than snapping his neck then and there to save the family. But then what? They already went to space once, and a Wayne satellite came crashing down afterwards. The point is, he had to kill Zod because it served the story right. The only way to stop this alien from destroying every living being on Earth was for him to stop breathing. And the only way to do that in that specific situation was to snap the dude's neck. Unfortunately, it's morbid, I know, but that is the point. It just serves the story right. So if in Batman v Superman, Batman's this hardened person because Jason Todd died, because the Joker's been out there murdering so many people, and he's come to the point where he's like, I can't keep these supervillains alive anymore because then they're just going to escape from prison and kill more people. If that is the case, we need to sit down and go, is that realistic? Granted, aliens coming from different planets and being these super-powered, godlike beings, that's not realistic, sure, but to an extent, there is some form of realism to these films because there needs to be some sort of relatable aspect to them. So if Batman is this killer because of those specific reasons, then it's understandable, at least to me, because it's like, okay, Jason Todd died. All these things have happened in his life that have led him to this point. There has been a build-up to make him who he is today. And maybe even when we see a solo Batman film, we can see that explored. It can be a prequel to Man of Steel, and we can just go back to a younger Bruce Wayne, to a younger Batman when he was still, going out fighting crime with Jason Todd, something like that. So that is my thoughts. Those are my opinions on whether or not Batman's going to be some killer in Batman v Superman. Honestly, I guarantee you he is not going to be. But even if he is, with the benefit of the doubt, if he is, I don't think it will be too bad if it serves the story right. If it doesn't, if it just makes no sense and he's just some killer, yeah, it's going to be dumb. But that's just going to be something we're going to have to wait and see for come March 25th, 2016. Just over a month away. Let me know what you guys think of this topic in the comment section below. I'm CaboosXBL. Please follow me on Instagram and Twitter and like me on Facebook. Those links are in the description. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later.